Welcome. You're now tuned in to Two Queens and a Fat Guy podcast.
Greetings, good people. Welcome to another episode of Two Queens and a Fat Guy. I am Fat Father, aka Fit Father. And as always, I'm joined by the two queens of the building, of the house, of the show, of the universe. Miss Jackie B, Miss
I felt
Coco
that all in my
Butterfly.
soul.
Yeah, hey, look, listen.
Nice
Y'all,
feeling.
if y'all
Yes.
don't know it, I definitely love y'all.
Oh, I love
Um,
Oh, I love you
you
too.
I do lately I've just been remember the last conversation we had when we were just talking about just praying in reverse.
more. Yep.
And
Yep.
I've just really been trying to live by that. Like I was actually even just at Dollar General and a young lady was paying for her stuff in front of me and her card wouldn't work, and
Oh,
you could tell it was one of them situations where she probably had just enough or thought
Oh,
she
yeah.
had just
Yeah.
enough and
Yeah.
it didn't
Oh.
cover it, and she just walked out the store and just left. I say, hold on, come back, get your bag. I told the lady, I said, just add that to what
Oh,
I'm getting.
fast.
And
Now
she
listen. Don't make me
listen,
cry.
but no, she was like, no, no, that's all right. But I could tell that the no, no, that's all right was pride.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
yeah.
told her, I said, look, right now, I don't care who listening, who watching. I said, put that pride to the side. I
Mm-hmm.
said, don't block my blessing and
Mm-hmm.
don't block your blessing.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Because I'm a
Yep.
true believer that sometimes the creator puts somebody else's blessing in your pocket
That's right.
to see if you can be trusted with
That's
delivering it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just really been trying to live by that. And I just really want y'all to know that I just appreciate the who y'all are. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like, so just know that.
so that is so much confirmation. I just talked to Elsie last night and I was telling her, my birthday is coming up. And I was like, I have been in this season, I have been in the season of protecting myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean protecting myself like I've done a lot of sacrificing. So it's my turn to walk in the season that I missed out on maybe seasons ago. So
Yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
celebrating myself because I normally don't enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever I want, I am absolutely going to get in this season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
that is
Okay.
mad confirmation. Confirmation.
for real. And that's what I don't know, man. If we haven't learned nothing else in these past few years, you got so many good people leaving this earth,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and you got so many things coming in between the normal
Yeah.
to show us different ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of things that we all are doing that we would not be doing
Right.
had things stayed the course that they were on. It's a lot of ways that we feel, a lot of ways that we talk to our people, a lot of emotions that we express to our children, a lot of conversations that we've had with our children that we would not have had
Yeah. Yeah.
if it wasn't for the events of these past couple years. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, Jackie, you don't even know, but something that you said on a previous show made me go back and have a conversation with my son. You had brought up it was you were just talking about how a father should basically be there for his son in an emotional way just
Yeah.
like a mother would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said that on that show, because the night before that, I was talking to my son about something and he was acting very emotional and I kind of didn't like it. And I told him, listen, if you want to be coddled, go over there to your mama, because I'm here
Yeah.
to give it to you straight.
The
But you know
sternness.
what? After that conversation, I pulled my son to the side and we talked.
Yeah.
And I just told him, like, listen, man, I was wrong. You
Mm.
can come to me about anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Don't ever feel like anything is disqualified, or like, this should be a place where you can come and lay it all down.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
know, so I'm just, I know we've had a lot of horrible things happen and a lot of good people lost, but I think a lot of good has come out of it too. And, you know,
Yeah.
I just wanted to take the time to speak on that. But on this show, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to talk about some current events. And there's some sadness. There's some eye-opening things. There's some questions. I know I
I
definitely
got
have some questions.
questions, okay?
Like this
I got
Astroworld,
questions.
Astroworld Festival. Um,
I should have
I
wore a tinfoil hat for this part.
yeah, because I
'Cause I'm a
have some,
conspiracy theorist, it's like a motherfucker, and I had a lot of questions.
yeah, and I have some mixed feelings as because there's so many different feelings. I have feelings as a parent. I
Yeah.
have I have feelings as a
Artist.
fan,
Yep, a
as an
fan, an artist.
artist,
Yeah.
because I heard a lawyer say on CNN today, the lawyer who's representing a lot of the people who are filing lawsuits, he
Wow.
said,
And how many
Travis Scott.
lawsuits have been filed?
Well, so far he said, I think
Because
he
I know there were eight
it was over
confirmed deaths.
100. No, there's lawsuits being filed by people who just attended.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
and he said he's expecting to get 100 or 200 more within the next week. So he's trying to beef it up, but
Yeah, but is he saying that they think those lawsuits will actually pan through? Because I,
well,
go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
let me
Yeah.
tell you what people do,
I get it.
because I have you know, I have friends who are artists on a bigger scale than I am. Like I'm talking of millions of records sold. So I've had these conversations with them when situations like this come up. And what happens is a person will file a lawsuit, like say if me and you, if I did a show and I put you on a show, you just came on to perform a song with me,
Right.
a person will file a lawsuit against me and they will put you in the lawsuit. Because guess what? If you get served and you don't respond, they'll win by default.
Right. Because I
So
didn't respond to the actual lawsuit.
so this lawsuit is including a lot of people. Like I've heard Drake
Yeah, I was gonna say I
has
heard
even
that
been
Drake
put
is
in the
included in the
lawsuit.
lawsuit. Yeah.
And they're
Well, of course,
basically,
and he's worth however
A lot
much
of
he's
money.
worth. Yeah.
yeah, what
So,
easily Drake can respond and be out of it. But what they're banking on is that he won't give it the time of day,
yeah.
or he'll feel like he has to make some sort of settlement. It's basically like trying to back somebody in the corner.
Somebody against the wall. Yeah.
But I will say that I'm gonna let you go after this, Coco. I'm gonna let you jump in there. But I just want to say this. This lawyer said that he has questions for Travis Scott because he believes that it was his fault. He said, what was he doing up there? Now, as a performer, he's fucking performing.
Right, because aren't you taught to that the show must go on no matter
No,
what?
not even that. I'm saying I've been on stage and haven't even seen the crowd. For
Ah, yeah, that
one,
makes sense.
for one, and this is just the naked stage I was on. Like I've been at St.
Right.
Andrews and
Yeah,
just,
you
yeah, you
got
see a
fire
crowd.
burning,
Yeah. You got
fucking
lights. You got,
demons running across the stage,
yeah,
and
It's a lot going
yeah,
on.
yeah. So he says, and I would like to know what drugs he was on, if any.
ah,
And I'm like,
Mhm.
well,
okay.
that's a valid question.
It's a valid
A valid question
question, but at the same
because he's
time,
pleading. He's making his case. He's building his case.
at the same time, is it, I don't know. I just feel like because I've been at a Big Sean show. I went to a Big Sean show in Cali a couple years ago, and somebody got kicked
Was
in
it
the
wild?
chest, and
Oh,
it was a festival, and they
okay.
fainted.
But
And
see,
Sean stopped his show.
shows and festivals are different, aren't they? Because
Well, yeah, as far as people,
As
bring
far
that
as the amount of people,
right amount of people, and then the people that come are usually these diehard music fans, right? So he had a mixed crowd, right? Because he's quote unquote the rock and roll rapper, right?
mm-hmm.
mhm.
They said that the reason why I'm questioning his fault and blame is, and I'm really I'm leaning towards blaming him because you had 750 police officers and security combined, 750. That's it. Versus 50,000 people in attendance. So that's like what? 150 per cop security guard? That
Yeah.
person has to make sure that they're wrangling or handling that portion of their crowd.
Without
That's
being
not
Yeah.
enough.
overrun in the process of doing it.
That
That's
and
a lot
that's
of
not
people.
enough. And then on in 2000, what was it, 2019, when he had his last festival, they rushed the gates then. So if you're
Mm.
rushing, if they rushed the gates then in 2019, you didn't think that they were going. These are the same fans that's coming from worldwide because it's a festival.
Yeah.
They're coming from everywhere. So you didn't think that was going to happen this time, and you got only 750 security and police officers together. That's all he had. 50,000 people is a lot. That's a lot.
Do you think, now here's my thing as a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Travis Scott is doing any of the planning for any of that? That's
I
the
think
thing.
I don't
He's
think
the face.
he's just the face and the talent. I think. Go ahead, Coco.
But here's the thing. So I understand that he has a team of people.
Right.
But the biggest mistake I think a lot of artists do, or people who are in a position where they need a team, you let everybody else handle everything. You need to make sure you have some type of handle on what's going on.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, somebody should have sat down like you just explained it to us. Somebody should have explained it to Travis, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, Travis, the finger's going to be pointed at you.
For sure. And,
You
and when
know,
the lawsuits come out, the people that are planning it have nothing. They're going for the person that they know for sure has money.
that's the money.
How much is he worth? How
Well,
much
let's
is
be
Travis Scott
real. They not go touch. Like, yeah, they can file lawsuits, and those people who passed away probably could get at Travis Scott's bank account. But let's be
worth? Right.
realistic. In order to have a festival of that magnitude, you have to have insurance. insurance.
which is why he's so willing to do a refund.
And he's
Yeah,
paying for the funerals of the victims.
yeah,
Right.
and now I just want to, because even when you say he should have a hand in it, now you got to think like, even when we
Just
say,
understanding, that's an understanding of just the situation.
no, I get what you're saying.
Okay, because it happened before,
Yeah, I
but
get
not
what
to
you're
that
saying,
magnitude.
but what I'm saying is it's probably not even all his team. You have people who come into play who go into business with people because they have an idea to make them a face. It's just like me having the money and
Right.
me having a relationship with a Black Milk or Big Sean, and we come up with an idea, and I say, hey, I want to do this festival. I want you to partner with me. I'm going to give you X amount of dollars to perform and bring in some of your musical connections, but I'm the business side of it. So I'm going to take care of X, Y, and Z, but I need to
Right.
be able to license the name of your album, you, to make this thing really pop.
Right.
So on this day of the festival or weekend of the festival, I'm still just showing up in artist form. I'm not sitting there
But these
saying,
are his. These festivals are his.
Yeah.
They're
no, I
personal. They're
still,
his.
yeah, but how much do we know in detail? Because people would say, hey, Mom Spaghetti is M&M's. But those
Mhm.
pop-ups have been happening for a long time. And for
Right.
all you know, somebody said, hey, let us license your
Yeah.
name, attach it
Yeah.
to a business, and I'll pay you X amount of dollars. It's low overhead for him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got some
So
filthy
I
rich.
just want to just his net worth. It says we don't know if this is. So it's allegedly 50 million.
I
Travis.
could believe it. I
Yeah.
could believe it. Like, I can definitely believe it. And his baby
Yeah.
mama.
With and we're not even now. This is just the Astro World Tour net worth. We're not
Okay.
talking about his merch, his
Yeah.
merchandise, his the shoes. Because those Travis Scotts, what are three something a piece? They might be more than that.
Wow.
So there's more. He has money coming in everywhere.
Yeah, he definitely got it. Now, hold on. Now, I spoke from the aspect of the artist.
Okay.
Now, I definitely want to speak on the side of when I saw those kids and those people
Youngest
bursting
being
through the
10.
barricades.
Yeah, the youngest being 10
No,
that they're going to be killed.
I'm talking about busting through the barricades
Oh yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at those people
Okay.
and you look at those kids running through and dodging security and trying to push security out of the way,
But he
they
incites that though. Like he's on the mic like,
no,
"Hey,
no, this is before the show.
no, 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 no. I'm saying in 2019 when they bust through the barricade and bust down the fence, he was saying that. He
Oh,
was
he
saying
told
come
them when you
in.
come back.
Yes. Come
Because
he
I
was
know the
saying come
video
in.
I saw the other day, it was broad daylight before the festival, at the beginning of the festival.
No, this is I'm saying 2019, not this current one that just happened. I'm talking
Okay.
about prior to. He
The
was
first
saying
one.
bust through, come through. He says that my fans, I want to see my fans draw blood. There is
Wow, I
something
didn't know
on
that.
YouTube
Mm-hmm.
with a young man. He's performing, and I don't know if it's the festival or not, but the dude jumped off of a balcony and he is permanently paralyzed on his left side
So with that
because
being
Travis
said,
Travis said Travis said go ahead and jump. Don't
so
be
with that
scared.
being said, well, if this a grown man,
He was a grown man. And
Oh well,
yes, we all have our own decisions to make in life.
definitely jumping
But
from a balcony.
if you're Travis Scott and you're telling me I'm gonna do something for you, you know, if you
In the
jump
heat of
off
the
that
moment,
mountain,
I'm on stage. Yeah, yeah, he's
First of
feeling
all,
so.
guess what? In the heat of the, I love Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight is
let
my
me find
favorite
out.
singer ever in life. Like, if something happened to Gladys, check on me. Um, like, this is how my wife gets at me. She'll be like, Gladys will pop up on TV and she be like, there go old Gladys. Listen,
The
Gladys can do
nail went
no.
up and oh
That
Gladys.
was my favorite verses with Gladys and Patti LaBelle because they were
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
banana pudding and sweet potato pie. But anyway, if Gladys Knight said jump from a balcony,
You would not.
I would not, is my point, because I have sense. Now, with that being said, because you just hit me to some things I didn't know. I didn't know about the encouraging people to bust through the door, because I get it now.
And
If
he
if
said, I want my fans to draw blood. I
if
want to
he
see blood.
and if he's saying that to a 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, I can understand why they set up the night before and was like, "Ooh, wait till tomorrow." So
Yeah.
I get that. Now, my question is though, to the parent of the 10-year-old,
Because it was an all ages show.
you so you take your kid to be in the middle of that knowing it,
I
or
agree.
are you not hip to it? Because that could be the truth too. They could not be hip to it, like, because my son Travis Scott is his favorite artist.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So if my son
Oh,
said,
yeah.
hey, can we go to the concert, I wouldn't have been privy to that information that you just gave me.
Right.
So I would just think that I'm treating my son to a festival.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
But
So I
go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Because you haven't
I've,
said much.
I've been trying to, but I'm listening too. So as a parent, one of the things that I thought about um, eh, years ago when I was in high school, I remember Kumo D. Um, I want to say Kumo D. Friends, Houdini. They came up
First of
here,
all, you just told your age.
and that's okay because I look good for it. But
I'm just messing with
I
you.
know. But I remember, right? I snuck out. That was my bad thing I did when I was in high school. I snuck out. And that night at the concert, something happened and some violence ensued. It was on the news the next day.
Mm.
Now, what all I could think of when I saw this story is how, what if I would have been part of that violence and my mom didn't even know I left the house?
Right.
Mm.
And then you find out on TV that I was in some asphyxiated stampede, that because people were rushed. So as a parent, it's a lot of things that go through my head too. What if some kid left the house and their parent didn't know what was going on? I had no
Yeah.
idea of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
What
point.
happens in a lawsuit?
It's a good
I
point.
mean, it just took me back, and I had to bring that up because that's my message to the kids. That being sneaky, see what this got some people, and the people that were there, they were there on their own accord. But I guess I'm saying this to say, you never know what's going to happen. You
Hmm.
think the people got up that day and thought that they were 9 people and think they were
They
going to
weren't
leave
gonna
the
go
festival?
home. Yeah. Yeah.
A 10 or 9 year old as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that story right there. Did you hear, like, the father had his 9-year-old on his shoulders, and when everything went down, the father got crushed and lost consciousness. And
No.
when he came to, his son was nowhere in sight. They
Oh.
didn't even locate his son until a day or two after at one of the hospitals, and he's in a medically induced
Induced
coma.
coma.
You
Yeah.
gotta be shitting
Like,
me.
could you
No.
imagine the feeling of, because already as a parent, our main thing is we want to protect our
Protect
child.
our children, yeah.
Mhm.
And when something happens that handicaps you and take that away to where you're could you imagine coming to
And,
coming back to
and you know
consciousness?
you had
And
your
your baby is
child
gone.
prior to, yeah. Oh my
And
And how about I was being a father to my child and having this moment that I thought was going to be a memory for us?
right. Right.
yeah,
Having a
Mind
bonding
blown.
moment with my son.
yeah, I definitely want to,
Oh
and I
my
want to make this clear.
God.
I also want to make this clear. Uh because people will listen to things and take what they want to take out of a conversation.
Mhm.
We are in no way, shape, or form victim blaming. We are in no way, shape, or form. We're not blaming nobody. We just asking questions. We having discussions. We just talking about what people are probably talking about in their living rooms and at their dining room tables. Um, I kind of feel like I don't know what mind state Travis Scott was in. I don't know what he was seeing from the stage. You know what I'm saying? Because like we said, it's lights, it's all kind of pyro, everything going. I don't know. Or hey, maybe he could see what was going on and didn't feel like it was nothing he could do. Maybe he saw what was going
And
on and
truthfully, there
and
wasn't anything that he could do personally
well, I
But
mean,
other
if
than
he could,
other than alert
yeah,
someone to help where he saw that help was needed.
yeah. But I'm seeing the media go in on him. Like they said, I seen a headline the other day that popped up and it said Travis Scott goes to Dave and Buster's after the Astroworld tragedy.
But did he really go to Dave? But first of all, did he go
Like,
to Dave
he
and
might have
Buster's?
went because he liked the damn pizza
or
and food.
or guess what? Here's the thing. This too. He could have went, because think about how many times we've all been at a club or something and a
Yeah.
fight or a shootout broke out. And after all of the trauma and everybody trying to figure it out, we ended up sitting inside of a Coney Island
Yeah,
Mhm.
we have
talking
all done
about,
that. We have
yeah,
all done that. Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about what just happened.
Yeah.
Then also I see what's my Van Jones, who be on CNN, the black guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I heard he
Was
went
working
in
with
on
Kim.
I heard he went in on People magazine
Did
because
he?
their headline was Kylie Jenner makes it out of Daily Astro World Fest safe. And then it went on to say
That pissed me off too.
8 people are confirmed dead. And I'm like, what? That's
Yeah.
after Kylie Jenner makes it
Yeah.
out safe?
Yeah.
What?
As if Kylie Jenner wasn't in a VIP PP tent
Yeah.
tucked away somewhere on backstage. She was not in the fucking crowd.
And she had their daughter with her. So
And she's pregnant.
And
yeah.
she full on pregnant.
Wow, it's just something, man.
So I'll
So,
say my conspiracy piece because, I just feel like when you're out here selling your soul, the devil needs his payment. And I said, oh, there were 8 people who were confirmed, or 9, however many.
I think
I
it was
just
8.
felt like it was time for him to pay the devil.
when the devil
Wow.
comes a knocking,
That's how I
well,
felt when I saw it. I mean, just even with the demonic shit on the stage, and I'm not a Bible thumper by any fucking means.
but I think a lot of us think that when you see things happen still, celebrities have this whole different life than we have, right? Because they live this life of super privilege. They have money. They're rich. Things are just not supposed to happen. Like something.
I just feel like this, Coco. He came in the scene in 2015. It's
Mhm.
2021, right?
Okay.
You went into, because I feel like the Kardashians are a coven already.
Mhm.
Once they take you, they take your soul. They suck you dry and they release you out into the fucking world. I mean, Bruce Jenner is a whole woman now. Okay? A whole fucking woman. Okay? Bitties and everything. Right? So I was just like, yo, he did not even look a bit remorseful speaking about the people who had died. You rubbing your forehead, you like, oh shit, just I can't believe. But nigga, you the same motherfucker who talking about, I need blood from my all my fans, mosh pit. And first of all, you didn't even have enough security for a mosh pit. Most places like that know how to handle a mosh pit. They beef up the security because of it.
Let me say this as a performer. When you're in front of a crowd, it's something about the energy from the crowd and them being there to see you do your thing, and knowing that you have this power for this certain amount of time while you're on stage.
But that's operating from ego, though.
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
So it's like you think it, and so you do it one time and you like, shit.
Yeah.
Then you do it another time, you like, well, god damn. You do it another time, it's almost like it does something. It's feeding you. It's feeding that ego. It's feeding the beast.
It's feeding that demonic soul that took you over, and now you got to pay that shit back.
So if I know, if I'm getting this satisfaction of controlling this crowd, at some point the narcissism or the ego should kick in and say, hey, you're the crowd of 50,000 people or however many was in that particular when he was doing the set. Artists, we will take it to a level, and sometimes we won't. We're aware, but the power feels so good that we just keep.
Yo, you muted yourself, Coco.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
Yeah. You said the power takes over and what?
You muted.
Uh-oh, Coco. There you go. You back on.
Thank
now
you.
You said the power what?
The power. When you are a performer, it feels good when you're in front of people that admire what you do. So much so to the point that when you're on that stage, you say, everybody clap your hands. They all clap their hands.
Oh, yeah.
I feel good. When you tell everybody to, if you got a little dance you do and everybody do it with you, hey, everybody, y'all really did with me. Everybody do it. Damn. And so it's feeding and it's feeding and it's feeding. And so you keep seeing how far they're going to go. And I believe with Travis Scott, I believe with that, what did he say? I want to see blood. I believe that he was somewhere with some homies. I'm going to see, I bet you I can make these motherfuckers bleed.
Or it's sacrificial. Sacrificial.
You are not letting this go on.
No, you know what?
But I understand. I get it. I totally get that.
Because because then we have to compare him to Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump is a performer.
Yep.
Right? So he incited a riot onto the
Capitol. He did.
Right? So they're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Because they're feeding off of their ego.
But people are people looking at him like they looked at Trump?
Absolutely. I mean, they rushed the Capitol. Yeah. They put a noose on the Capitol steps. Absolutely, they're looking at him the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You got that much power, and he has that much power. So if you have that much power and you're using it in a way that it feeds your ego and it harms
Mm-hmm.
other, then it's sacrificial. Then, right?
I truly believe, and I can say that, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I never been on stage and got a rush on a motherfuckers listening to what I say.
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh, do it again. You know, I'm like happy. But the thing is, certain things made me start thinking, and I thought that too, Jackie. And sometimes with celebrities, as I was saying, we view them in this different way that we
Mm-hmm.
don't view us regular people. So it's almost like nothing bad happens to them because they're these special people.
Right.
But when you get people like Jennifer Holliday, whose sister, baby daddy, or husband killed the son, the sister,
Right.
I think
Right.
the mama, that shit ain't supposed to happen. That's what we think.
And I'm not even going that deeply into it, but I'm saying
But you know where I'm going
you
with it.
do sacrificial things and you don't even know that you're doing it.
Right.
You're asking, even if you haven't sold your soul, which I really don't think that he has not sold it. So I feel like he has. I mean, because you're with a woman whose sister showed her pussy for fame, right? She showed her whole pussy for fame, sucking
Yeah.
dick and everything for fame.
Yeah.
You're not gonna tell me that in some way and Chris is the pimp of all pimps. Chris,
Yeah.
Jenner.
yeah, she's the pimp of all fucking pimps on the planet. You're not gonna tell me that you don't know what you're speaking. You're speaking a ritualistic thing. I
Yeah.
want blood from my fans.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Because they'll
Yeah.
say it and you'll do it. And that's why I was
And
going
you
back
know
to
they will do
this.
it. You know
Yeah.
some people will do it.
And it's
Yeah.
scary because when you see these like juggalos, like when you see a group of people who are so dedicated to their culture,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go any route they need to go to to uphold that standard or to show or to please whoever it is that they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Insane Clown Posse. I use them for example. They have followers who with the shits.
Oh yeah, I
That'll,
love the
that'll go beat
Juggalos
somebody
though.
ass.
The Juggalos have been so good to me. Like as far as even just being because I was in a group with Gordy, so I performed at the gathering of the Juggalos.
Mm-hmm.
Um Actually, Violent J from ICP said at one point he wanted to be a fat killer, and he was trying to do a group project, but they do have true believers. And I'm gonna tell you, we was at the gathering of the Juggalos one year, and a dude showed up, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't think we were going to make it." Now the gathering was in Cave Rock, Illinois. He said, on our way driving here, we had a car accident, and my
Oh no.
friend went through the windshield, and he's
Jesus.
in the hospital right now in critical condition. We
Wow.
still came because we knew this is what he would have wanted. There was another guy I met who said he would always be a juggalo because his hatchet man chain that he wears deflected a bullet from hitting his heart.
Oh my God.
So he's a
Wow.
diehard Juggalo fan. I also have two great people who are Juggalos that I know who live out in California. They stay maybe about 7, 8 hours away from San Francisco. Me and Marv One had a show out there. They drove up to San Francisco for the show. one of the dudes didn't have his ID, so he couldn't get in the show. So they just drove around San Francisco for 4 hours until we were done.
Oh, wow.
Came back to the spot, hung out with us, kicked it for a minute, and then drove 7 hours back home.
You gotta be
Like,
serious.
I have juggalos who have bought my Fat Father Love the Kids attire for their kids. And now their kids are 10, 11, 12 years old, and they send me updated pictures of the kids. It's just so, like, I think in some situations is more like something to love and something to love you back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So with being an artist, I do believe there's a great responsibility. You know what I'm saying? When somebody is genuinely showing you love like that, I think you owe it to them to have their best interest at heart when
Yeah.
it pertains, period, but especially when it pertains to you. Because, like you said, you can easily have somebody do some stupid shit
Yeah.
because of that power. And even while we were talking about that, I had to check myself because I'm like, yo, I would never do no shit like that. And that stands true. Gladys Knight couldn't get me to jump from a balcony. But I'm not the man who jumped from the balcony.
Yeah.
What
Absolutely.
is he going through in his life?
Yeah.
What has he seen? Maybe he felt like this was him showing Travis Scott how much he loved him. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not doing it for Travis Scott, Gladys Knight, none of the
Not
above.
not anyone.
But I'm not that man. So yeah, like as an artist, you kind of have a responsibility. This whole thing is just, I don't know. It's so many different
It's yeah,
conversations
yeah.
that we can
Because
have.
we could
Like,
talk about, Beyonce has that much pull too, and she's not telling
yeah,
motherfuckers, I want your blood.
yeah, like,
Beyonce's just smart. She's just really smart with it. And the thing of it is, that would have been a payday for somebody. But it just seems like that conspiracy theory does uh, kind of makes you think.
oh yeah, it's
Um,
definitely real. I think it's real too, even if it's not 100%. I
Yeah.
think it's
And like I said, I'm not even diving deep into how I really feel spiritually because
it's scary.
I'm not, a Bible thumper, but I'm saying you do even what you speak is a ritual. What you say about yourself, what you say about others, all those things. We get our routines in the morning is a ritual. The way you get up, the way you step
Mhm.
down on the floor, the way you go brush your teeth, the moment you wash your face, those things, the way you do that every day is a ritual. So
Damn,
if you
you
throw yourself off one
just
day,
scared me.
everything else is different for that day, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you wash your face first and then brush your teeth and something is off the rest of your day, it's because you threw your ritual off for that day. That's all
Hmm.
I'm saying.
That's
That's
that's real
real.
shit. When I had my car accident, I deviated from the ritual that I
Yep.
normally do every day after work.
Yep.
And I was impatient and wanted to go home because I was, ready to go home. And I
Right.
made a wrong turn and bam, I'm in an accident.
Yep.
So uh, piggybacking off of what Fat Father said, I do believe as an artist, we have a obligation to our fans and just to people in general, the culture. We can't be out here making people hurt themselves. But y'all know what? Some people will do whatever they have to do to
Yeah.
attain a level of
Yeah.
success. And
Yeah.
if 10 sacrificial lambs is a way for them to do it,
Yeah.
they'll do it. And let's just be real clear. This has been an ongoing thought process in entertainment for years. And when celebrities do lose somebody, that's one of the first things we all sometimes think. I know I ain't the only one, but once again, we owe the fans, but we owe them the respect so
Mm-hmm.
that they don't hurt each other, because they're there supporting us. And like I said, it feels good when you tell people what to do when they do it, but you can't use that as a way to destroy. That could have been way worse. People got us trampled. What if people would have really rushed that stage and the stage would have had light and
Well,
stuff
people
falling
were
down?
on stage.
Yeah.
People were on the stage with him, with Travis Scott, jumping around. He was trying to get them off, and they were running past. So I think it's both the crowd's responsibility and his.
The
Because
artist.
Yeah.
I think the
Because what?
crowd was
Yeah,
unruly.
And
but
security needs to make sure that they want to do security before they accept the job as security too.
it's
I
because we're used to seeing people like once something seems like it's off, we're used to seeing people coming to break that shit up quick when you're in a smaller venue. But when you're in that vast amount of space, I just think either way, if somebody shoots in the crowd, if a fight happens in the crowd, it's gonna take some time to get there if you have a lessened amount of
Mm-hmm.
security.
Well, you know what though? That's not always true coming from a person who runs a business where I have to have security. And we talking about where I've only had to have 4 or 5 people at a time. And it's times I had to pull them to the side and say, listen, do you want to be here?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're kicking it and you're chilling, you smoking
Mm-hmm.
squares,
Mm-hmm.
and you letting people come through and you saying, oh, he's straight. I know him. He just stepped right outside the door. And I have to tell them, I have to break it down like this, like, listen, potentially you could get shot tonight.
Right.
You could get stabbed tonight. This might only be a cabaret or a 50th birthday party, but you have to decide in your heart and in your mind if you want to be security, because security is 75%
Yeah.
mind state,
Yeah.
25% action.
Yeah.
And I say that because
You're
upon
watching.
taking a security job, you are committing yourself to put you before a stranger.
Yeah.
You have to say, if somebody come in shooting, I'm going to take a bullet for these people that I don't know. You have to say, I'm going to protect this woman that I don't know. You have to say, I'm going to protect this man. You have to say that, hey, this man just walked in and he has had 55 million drinks. He's drunk as fuck, and there's a chance he might say something stupid to another man or grab a random woman's ass and get slapped. And her man might want to go outside, get his pistol, come back in and shoot him. I'm willing to take the bullet.
I'm
That
laughing
shit
because
is,
it sounds like this was a night at a cabaret, and you just
it
ran it
is,
down.
because that shit is
That shit
mental.
happens.
And listen, one of the security guys were on CNN, and he said, I left.
He said he
Before,
quit. Like they
yeah,
quit. He quit before it even started.
he
He's
said
like,
he quit. He
it
said
was too dangerous.
it didn't feel right.
Yep.
I respect that.
Now, how did it not feel?
We here, Jackie.
Feeling.
We here because I'm that was the first thing I thought.
Oh, now you
Because
walked
he
in
talking
plenty
to other
places
security
and was like,
guys.
"Ooh, this ain't where I'm supposed to be."
What do they know? I mean, like, how does that energy just
That's different.
resonates?
That's different. And
Again,
again, I won't go into how I will not dive deep into how it's like I owe the devil some souls. Let me go ahead and pay him back tonight.
yeah, yeah. But
All
look,
these riches, all this fame, and I got one of the most famous bitches on my arm.
A Kardashian, a Jenner, a soul
I
sucker.
owe. I came in this motherfucker in 2015. He got more fame than I've seen. He's at Drake's level, and Drake been rapping since Degrassi Junior High.
well, you know what? I won't say it. He's not Drake level.
He, yes, he
Mm-mm.
is.
Drake. No,
I'm
listen
not
though.
saying
We
he's
looking at.
better. I'm saying
I
as
ain't even
far as
talking
the
about
Neutral on
better,
pull,
this one.
but
I'm
I'm
neutral
saying
on
as
this
about.
far
one.
as the
I'm
pull.
talking about Drake has taken records from the Beatles. Travis Scott hasn't achieved that.
But do you
Like,
think he can't though?
no, I'm talking about
I don't think he
like,
can because he hasn't tried to. But I'm saying, as far as the pull and the fandom, I'm saying they're on the same level. I mean, hell, Drake is on stage with him.
I mean, yeah, they might be
Ugh.
on the same level as far as, hey, let's do a show, but I'm talking about as far as,
I'm
I
not
put it to
saying
you like
musically.
this. No,
I'm not
listen,
saying
I put it to you
musically.
like this. If we were all in a place with some of our older family members and younger family members, and Travis Scott walked into the building, some of us may know who he is. All of the young people may know.
Mm-hmm.
In that same room, if Drake walk in, my mama gonna know who
I
Drake
know,
is.
but
My
still,
grandma gonna know.
what
Like,
I'm saying is, I still think some of these old folks to know who Travis Scott is, just on
not
the simple
until
fact
he
that he had a
say it.
McDonald's meal.
I'm
Now they
saying,
know who he is because he fucking. It
Uh,
was a riot incited at a festival. But the thing is, I do think he has the potential to get there.
oh yeah, no, I'm not even
I think he
yeah,
taking
has the
away.
yeah,
potential.
I'm not even taking away from the size of his fame. He's
he up
super
there.
big, but I
He's up
think
there.
it's kind of
But
like
I'm saying
saying,
compared to him coming in at 2015, like he came on the scene at 20. That's not that long ago to be that close in proximity as far as your fandom to Drake.
yeah, but
I
that's
think it
a
happens
lot of that
sooner
is
though too. Right
marrying
now,
a
Jackie.
Kardashian, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too is right now. I think with the power of social media, I think
Or selling your
that,
soul to the devil.
sell
Look,
your soul to Lucifer. I do believe
Lucy be out here taking these souls, baby. If
I'm
you
just
ain't strong
saying,
enough,
people, there's so many ways for people to be seen. And it's so fast now for people who are like around people we've been around for years and years that had to actually grind when they still had like street teams and shit. Now you got
yeah,
this society of people that can post one video
yeah,
and then they are a superstar within like 72 hours.
oh
They own
yeah,
everything. So it's so different. So it's quick to achieve that level of success quick.
yeah. You sell yourself to the devil.
Maintaining it and being consistent is a whole different story. But I'm saying that to say it's so easy. So I can say I do think that Travis Scott, okay, I ain't gonna say he where Drake is, but I'm gonna say he's on his tail. He's with a
yeah.
Kardashian.
If I
Now
sold
that
myself
this
to the
happened, we
devil,
all know
I'd
who
be
he
on his tail
is.
too.
Jackie is just, listen though. Okay. Um, I do want to end
Okay,
this segment by
I'm done talking
saying
about Travis.
prayers to everybody involved. Prayers
Absolutely.
to the families who lost people. And
May they
I
find
hope
peace
one
and
day that you
healing.
can find some peace.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely. Um, I do want to real quick I know y'all go hit me to what happened on Insecure, but I want to say this real quick. Kyle Rittenhouse, this trial. First of all,
white privilege at its best.
the judge is obviously working for his defense team, because anytime the prosecutor backs him into a corner, the judge would send the jury out the room and go in on the prosecutor. Now,
you know, that sounds like that show that came on Showtime with the lawyer whose son had killed somebody, and he was working with the with some gangsters.
Oh yes, that was a great show, Coco.
Your
listen.
Honor, Your Honor.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here watching this shit. Like, are we not missing the point? Because the point is, you were a 17-year-old boy,
right,
with an AR-15.
Proudly walking through the streets.
Traveled across state lines.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Whether your father,
which is already illegal. That's the first thing is it was illegal.
His father lives there, and his grandmother lives there. That's what they were making sure they were trying to present. But he said that he knew that he couldn't buy that gun when he was 17.
But I'm saying he traveled across state lines with a AR 15. And he at the age of 15. That's the
17.
First, he was 17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But listen, no.
18.
No, but this is what I'm saying. He didn't buy the gun. His sister boyfriend lives in Kenosha, where it happened. Right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the boyfriend was hanging out, and the boyfriend had an AR-15. He said, he was like, hey, man, it'll be cool if I give you the money and you buy me one. And then when I get 18, you can sign it over to me, but I can use it now for like going to the range and things of that nature. That's what the prosecutor was trying to get to. The prosecutor was basically trying to get the jury to understand that he knowingly had this rifle and he knew it was illegal for him to have it. Right. And that's the whole point. Why do you have an AR-15? And you wouldn't have had to shoot anybody in self-defense if you would have had your 17-year-old ass at home. But to take an AR-15 and walk through a
crowd of people protesting. Like, like it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Just strolling.
Like you were going to shoot somebody. That was your mission.
That was the plan. Yeah.
That was your mission. And that's what it's just pissing me off. And unless y'all, you know, I don't want
it's hard for me to watch. I think I told you earlier that I can't bring myself to watch that because I don't want to see anything justified. I mean, we get enough. There's enough justification of us being murdered in cold blood. And when I saw him with them biscuit ass, dry ass tears that he just squeezed out his motherfucking face, I was just like, I cannot look at the white tears or the fucking white privilege any longer.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Even with Trayvon Martin, it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
And it's like, it's disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Right. So it makes it hard for me to want to watch it because I don't want to go to Speedway and get coffee in the morning and be looking like I want to kick a white person in the balls because I saw that shit the day before. I just want to get my coffee and be happy. But you get tired of seeing it played over and over and over. And I'm telling y'all, the way that judge was acting, he in bed with somebody on this. And I am tired of that happening. You are, and it's so clear that it's happening. It reminds me so much of Your Honor. It's just hard to watch.
Yeah. And somebody
Yes.
told me, like somebody, when I was talking to somebody about it, they were like, but he didn't kill black people. I said, don't fucking matter. The
Oh
point
my
is,
God.
I
He
said,
murdered
I
someone.
said, the point is, if that was my son, he wouldn't have made it home that night.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have been able to do that and then openly walk down the street
Ugh.
with an AR-15. First of all, I can legally purchase an AR-15. I can legally open carry an AR-15. And
Yes.
I wouldn't have made it home if the police saw me walking down the street with my AR-15
Not at all.
during a
A
protest.
protest. First of all, isn't it illegal to have firearms during a peaceful protest? Or is
Well,
there a loophole with
no,
that?
it depends because it's a lot of arguments because that can go back to the Black Panthers. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm
Right.
saying? You have
Right.
the
But
right.
I thought that's why they made it illegal. If it is, if
Well,
it
it could
isn't,
differ in different states.
okay.
It could because you got to think about those people at the Capitol in Michigan.
Right. Right.
They were in the Capitol
Just
with
With
acting a straight
rifles.
damn fool.
fully loaded and ready
We
to go.
couldn't have did that.
Yeah.
New Era Detroit couldn't have been up in the
No,
Capitol
they
in
could not.
Lansing
And
with
and
rifles.
they're heavily armed
Yeah,
every time they go somewhere and protest.
But
yeah.
So,
it's crazy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I want to hear your
I
input
was
on
just
that.
gonna say it's crazy because as a military person, if I was like on the reserve and I was doing security, you know how they bring in the National Guard and the reserve in, and I just happened to see a young kid walking around with an AR-15, somebody should be asking some questions and somebody should be snatching this kid up. That shit ain't normal.
it's not.
And had that been had that been my, let's say my grandson was 15, had it been the same age, my grandbaby, he probably wouldn't have walked out of there or he would have spent a
He would
lot
have
of time in
he would have
prison.
been murdered.
So we
Yeah,
gotta
You.
stop. It's this bias, and it is explicit bias. It's not implicit. It's there for people to see. You're making it super clear on how you feel
Yeah.
because everybody think black people are dangerous, but guess what? Black people, at one point, you could have never pinned that. Remember the guy that was doing the sniping? Was it
Oh
the
yeah.
DC sniping?
Yeah.
You
DC was
would have,
sniper.
we would have never pinned that on one of
Yeah.
us years ago. Now the world has evolved and we've changed, but a lot of those times, we all know it ain't us. As a person who has worked and I've worked in the welfare to work program where I've always lived in fear of somebody being disgruntled because we said no, we cut them off. Y'all
Mm.
know what it's like to go to a meeting and you tell a person, I'm cutting you off of welfare for the rest of your life. And they saying to you, bitch, I'm gonna kill you if I see you in the street. So now all I'm thinking in my head is that person can walk in this building at any time and just start killing people because we didn't have like super security. But
yeah,
if it's a black person coming in at that building, they would have caught that. But if a person of the Caucasian persuasion would have walked in, they probably wouldn't have paid as much attention. But they pay attention to black people, and that shit ain't right. But so
yeah.
you got this kid walking around with an AR-15. If a friend would have been with him that was black and was walking around with one, y'all would have tackled his ass down. And that shit just ain't
Right.
right. And he on the stand crying crocodile tears. He
He wasn't
wanted to
even
kill
crying.
somebody.
Look,
He wanted to kill somebody.
hey, at some point,
Yeah, biscuit
I
eyes.
was hoping a tear fell for him. Look, he was
Biscuit
squeezing his
eyes.
face so fucking tight.
Hard.
I was like, come on, big fella. Come on, big fella. You can squeeze one out. Squeeze one out, big fella. But you know
Biscuit
what,
eyes.
man? and I'm just gonna say this: fuck that judge, and
But
fuck
here, if the
yeah.
truth will come out, facts, it's gonna come out. But see, what we all need to understand, people and listeners, that corruption shit goes on all the time. But see, now with the media and them casting this stuff so for the world to see, we're able to see a lot of things that people before us couldn't see with other court cases.
But they don't care. That's the thing, Coco. The bias,
That's true.
we say that we have to stop the bias. The bias will never stop. The bias is in the DNA of the country. It's in the DNA. That's like something that's like in your blood, the blood that flows through you, that
Right.
flows through your parents, that flows through your children, that flows through your grandchildren. That's the blood of this country. It's in there. In order to stop the bias, you would have to kill the country. You would
Hmm.
have to kill, you would have to stop the DNA from
Yep.
pumping.
Yep.
Well, let me ask y'all this on some real shit. It's so crazy with these court cases like this because we never know which way they're gonna go. We don't know because when we all just knew that George Zimmerman was going down, that shit threw us for a motherfucking loop, right? But also the bullshit with OJ and Nicole threw us for a loop, right? So it's like you never know how it's gonna go.
Nah,
But when
OJ didn't throw me for a loop.
I didn't do it, but if I did, this is this. Hold on,
I
but I
still think OJ is innocent as far as hands on. I think
okay.
OJ put the
You
I
think he
think
hired somebody?
I think OJ,
Yeah.
listen, I think OJ put the plan in place. I think OJ put the deposit down. I
Yep.
think the person said they were ready to do it. And OJ said, you know what? I don't want to do this shit. And they said, fuck that. I need that other half of that bag.
I'ma
OJ
tell on
said,
your ass, nigga.
OJ said, nah, I don't want to do it. They did it and put a bloody motherfucking glove in that Bronco. Like they had to make sure he understood that you go pay for this one way or the other. I just don't see OJ Simpson himself as arrogant as he was.
Yeah.
He
He was
wasn't
extremely
stupid.
arrogant too.
And that goes back to my point with privilege. And in that case, that was a monetary privilege because he was a rich black man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with
Mhm.
this young white man, every time, and I've seen it also on my job when I was working with girls that were in a shelter in Pontiac that worked with people that were in drug rehab. They had a 1 year program. When my black girls got arrested for having weed or some kind of substance, they went to jail. They got a felony or high misdemeanor and they fucked up their shit. When the Caucasian women had fentanyl, heroin, all that stuff, they were sentenced to a 1 year treatment program for a religious drug
Of
rehab,
course.
and they got to take their babies. If they had a nigga they was fucking, they got to marry him and take him too. So privilege works in a certain way. And unfortunately, it's going to be hard to watch this because I don't want to see another privileged person get off when we all know that they did something wrong. And
Right.
so it's hard to watch this shit. And I remember my mom saying this to me years ago because my mother is a person who grew up in Jim Crow, and she knows about the freedom fighter, the people that went down and they got killed and all that kind of shit. My mother remember all that stuff. My mother said this to me about the OJ thing. When I called her because I was in Germany, I said, Mom, what you think? This is exactly what my mom said. She said, oh, I'm not phased because white people have been getting away with killing us for years. She said, one of
Mm-hmm.
us got away this time. She said, just keep moving. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I
But
agree too.
you know, and I'm saying that to say that man privilege work. But I'm quite sure that when people of privilege see people of privilege get off and make them happy. But see, with African Americans, we all don't have that wealth and that money behind us to get off. So we do have to take one. We do end up going to jail for a longer amounts of times that we shouldn't because the judge decided that we needed to be punished. While in the meantime, this boy gonna get a light sentence. So let's all just pretend like we let's not pretend like we don't
But I
know. Let's
know
just
it's
go and accept it.
I know he's not gonna. It he's not gonna be punished. I don't even.
Yeah, I think it's
I
gonna
don't
The
be
think
a
he'll
judge,
even
the
get
mistrial.
judge is
sentenced
showing that.
to anything.
I
But
think they
Fancy,
going to a mistrial. I think that because the judge keeps on hinting towards that. And going back to OJ Coco, let's be real. He didn't get away. That's how you know privilege don't
no,
work for black
Yeah.
people because they
yeah,
still figured out a way to make him go to prison.
Yes.
yeah, yeah. But you know
Just
he
like
was
they
out here
did
doing dumb
Kwame.
shit. Did y'all ever see that show when him and his boys went to go get all his memorabilia?
Yeah, but
And
you gotta think, what else you think he go do? Like that's if you
that
take
show was
my
so fucking
shit,
funny.
you take my shit and put it somewhere where I know where it is, you know I'm going to get it.
That
That shit
you
is
gotta watch the
insane.
documentary. The documentary had us on the floor because it was like a bunch of old cats that probably used to do jobs when they were younger, but they all got together for that last hoorah, which was O.J. Simpson's getting his shit back. It is some real shit, but y'all gotta watch it. But anyway, all I'm saying is I'm tired of seeing people that are privileged because it's their birthright
Yeah.
and people that's privileged because of monetary issues. I'm tired of seeing them get over and seeing people get hurt. Two people lost family members because somebody felt that they needed to go be an upstanding citizen and get rid of these protesting hippies, and the end result, somebody was dead. But that little motherfucker gonna get off. You watch and see what we
Yeah.
say. And I don't
Yeah.
know who's up the goddamn judge ass, but he gives me a Your Honor tea. That's all I'm gonna say. If you haven't watched Your Honor Fats, watch it, binge watch
Yeah,
it. You will love it.
that was a great one
That's
too.
a whole goddamn episode.
A great show.
And hey, Kyle Rittenhouse, next time, man, just close your eyes, think about something extremely sad or
Puppies
painful.
and sacks being
Put
thrown into
or
lakes.
put a motherfucking tack in your shoe or something, but don't bring your puffy
Biscuit
pig
eyes.
face ass
Yeah.
on
Let
here.
me ask y'all this though. What kind of
Biscuit eyes.
person, what kind of person is Kyle Rittenhouse? Is he a psychopath? Is he a sociopath? Is he mentally ill?
Yes.
Is he
Yes.
what? I mean, because as a person of
Yes.
of psychology, that shit's gonna play into it too. But I just wonder what you guys think. Do you think that there's some traumatic shit that happened to him that made him fucked up? Do you think? I mean, like what?
He was born white. That's the only thing that
Yes.
happened to him.
Did you listen?
America.
And listen, all of the shit. Did you see? He was fucking after the fact. He was in pictures posing with the Proud
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah.
After the fact, he had a
And he was
TikTok
also throwing
account.
up the KKK sign.
And he had a TikTok account in
Yeah.
which on the picture he's holding the AR-15
Yeah.
and the caption read, "Bruh, I'm just trying to be famous."
See, this is my problem. If they have all of this
Wow.
shit and this, y'all, I'm so serious. If they let this kid off or give him some bullshit time, now I
They
might have
will.
to start
They'll let
talking
him
some
off.
shit because I am so tired of seeing this. My kids are grown, but I have a 13-year-old grandson who I think about every day. I think about your son, Jackie. I think about your sons because in my brain, I'm thinking they're growing up in a time where people don't value who they are because they make assumptions of who they are because of what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of seeing these privileged people feel like they can just, and I know when Trump was in office, a lot of them had this super privilege that they thought that they can throw around. But if this boy get a lesser sentence, black people, we need to cut up. We need to act. We need to go
Oh,
riot. We need to do
I think
something.
it'll happen. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it'll
I'm sorry.
happen
I
with
got to pour
that.
me a little bit of wine because I done got upset. Because I'm tired of seeing this. I
You was
thought we were
gonna
supposed to.
pour that damn wine if we was just telling a joke any damn way.
No, because but listen, y'all, I'm so tired of this because I'm one of those people. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I try to block out a lot of negative shit because I was going through some negative shit, right? So I stopped kind of in the morning. I had to like chill on the news because it just don't help. But
Yeah.
I try to pay attention to the shit that's what I deem is important and need to know. But our people constantly being what I feel like made examples of,
Mm.
punished in ways that are, it's just ridiculous. If I smoke a joint and this is the third time I got caught with one, I got to do all this stupid time. But you got this motherfucking kingpin that's been pushing fentanyl that probably snitched on one or two, three motherfuckers. He gonna get like 13 months. Come on, y'all. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm shutting up because I done
Hey,
got upset.
look
God damn
though.
it.
Well, that's enough for punk ass Kyle and the whole ass judge.
You done got
Um,
my nerves all up and my pressure done got the pumping. I'm gonna
be,
just drink this little wine.
before we get up out of here, y'all gotta hit me to this episode of Secure y'all was talking about.
Insecure?
Insecure. Oh, my fault. Insecure.
Not secure.
I'm not hip. I'm not hip to the show.
Well, for all of us who've had to co-parent, you co-parent in different ways. You co-parent if you're in a relationship and you're married. You co-parent if you dated somebody and
I
y'all
am
have a
so
oopsie.
glad you said that, Coco.
What?
That you co-parent even if you're in a relationship and even if you're married. Because you are co-parenting still.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you said that. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And so what happens for those of us who are in committed relationships when we're together, doesn't always mean you're gonna hold up your end of co-parenting, but we're together, so it's a certain aesthetic there. But when we're both people that may have been in a relationship where we're still trying to learn each other, we're still trying to make decisions on other relationships, and shit just happens.
Mm-hmm.
A baby's made. What now? So this episode of Insecure was with Condola and Lawrence, who ended up, and I'm gonna try to condense it a little bit. Lawrence and Condola were seeing each other. She got pregnant. He went back to his girlfriend. Condola then finds out she's pregnant. Then, what after Condola found out she was pregnant, Lawrence still tried to work around with Issa. His girlfriend didn't want to do it. Blah 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 blah. Now Lawrence is doing his thing. You got Condola who is pregnant. She has a baby. But because he told her these key words when she said she was pregnant, what were those words, Jackie?
Keep me posted.
Who the fuck tell their baby mama keep me posted? You know, just
A
keep me
fucking fuck
posted,
boy. A fuck boy
fuck
does.
boy. So I had to look at this episode in two different ways because I've co-parented. I am currently grand co-parenting. And it's a strange thing because the whole goal of co-parenting really is to get along for the sake of the
Mm-hmm.
children.
Mm-hmm.
And so that these parental duties are kind of distributed between both parents. Well, when Lawrence told this girl, he told Condola, keep me posted. In her mind, y'all know what us women think. And we done told our girlfriend, we done told our mama, we done told our sister, we thinking he ain't shit. So now the baby comes, and this is where you really get to see how each other, how y'all roll. In this particular episode, when the girl had the baby, Condola, she did not tell Lawrence until the baby was born.
He was born early though. He
I
was
have some
early.
conspiracy theories about that, Jackie.
How
That
the
it
hell
may
you
not
have
be
a
that it
conspiracy
may not
theory
be
about a show?
Lawrence baby.
Hey, I'm gonna get
I
into
don't
that.
think it may not be his baby.
Okay, let me get into why I'm saying that. And y'all just chime in. So, him and Condola, the first problem is she didn't tell him that she had the baby. So he flies to LA where she at. She gets in there, they are ready to name the baby. The baby name is Elijah Mustafa. My mama said that she
Elijah Mustafa.
Mustafa. My mama said, hell no. I said, but mama, this is what happens when you lay with people. Okay. So now it was a fight for him to give the baby his last name. So that was the issue. But he got that, right? This is co-parenting, people, 2021. I just want to say that. So now what's happening is it's like this power struggle because Condola has full custody of the baby. Lawrence is, I'm gonna fly down and come help you, Dad.
Mm.
But in my opinion, Lawrence is doing a better job than the nigga that stay in the same city as you, who you done got
But
pregnant by.
now see, I was
I'm so
leaning towards
confused.
Lawrence, but he was also flying in just per his convenience. You know what I mean?
So Fats, basically, he was coming to town to see the baby because he wanted, and the girl had a son. So, okay, he wanted to see his son. So, what was happening was he's coming to town, he's wanting to come see the baby. But did it seem to you, Jackie, like every time he came there, it was something wrong? It was
Yeah,
like it was an issue. So
yeah,
basically, Fats,
yeah,
this is setting up the baby mama and the baby daddy co-parenting relationship.
yeah.
The baby mama is making it seem like he ain't shit, which I didn't agree with that because I thought the boy was trying.
He was making an effort, but
He was
he
making an
was making
effort.
an effort by his own convenience. So meaning,
I
okay,
love the
I
way
am
you
gonna
put
make
that.
this effort,
I
but
love the way you put that.
I'm gonna make this effort on my time. It's not
Hmm.
gonna be because I mean, hell, she's the custodial parent, so she's doing all the heavy lifting.
She's up with the
She's
baby.
up.
She's
She ain't combed her hair. Probably ain't took a shower. Probably hasn't eaten a full fucking meal. Cause was she still nursing or did
yep. She was trying to nurture the baby, wasn't latching
and
on.
he wasn't like, which is also an emotional thing on top of her possibly having postpartum depression.
So in the mind of this
Hmm.
guy, Fats, he thinks that he's doing the right thing because he's making an effort.
Yeah.
But to her, it's like, okay, I'm the one up at night. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And his thing is I'm working. And she's like, well, I still got to do all these things, but he
Well,
wants say so with the baby.
what he said to her was, not only was he working, you blew my life up. I wanted basically I wanted to be with Issa, which is his ex. You blew my life up by deciding to keep this baby, and I said I didn't want to because we were no longer together.
Ooh,
So you
that's so
made that
powerful.
decision to keep the baby. And so, in retaliation, I'm sure he said, "Keep me posted." So he was a fuck boy, and she was a fuck
Oh,
girl, really, because
I, I
he
never.
was making an effort. He
That
was making
sounds
an
like
effort.
a whole fucked up situation.
It
But
is.
this is what's happening with a lot of
It is.
parents, Fats. A
It is.
lot of parents in this cult thing. Let me tell you something, people. Ladies, I need you to hear me. And brothers, I need you to hear me too. When you lay down with somebody, that's an intimate act. When you lay down with somebody unprotected, that's an even more intimate act. And when you lay down and you create a human being with somebody you barely know, you are asking. It's almost like, damn, okay, I had this girl. I was kind of messing with her. I was kind of in between relationships. I wasn't ready to be a father because I'm not married. Some people have a plan, but this baby comes, and now you got these two people that's still trying to learn each other. That got a baby in the oven,
Yeah.
and it's a reason why y'all not moving forward because y'all not on the same playing field. Y'all not on the same page, and that part of him telling her she blew his life up. I'm like, Lawrence. Now that was the one thing in the episode. I was like, Lawrence, you fucked up, bro. I was on your side until that. You can't tell a woman that. So
No,
now,
you can't. But women also have to know that when you make a decision, and hear me out, because there are
oh
a lot of
no,
men who
I
are,
know where you're going with this.
yeah, because there are a lot of men who are out here, and they have actively said, and yes, use protection. Yes, if you fucking, that usually equates babies. Yeah, we get all of that. But if I'm a woman and I'm with a man and we're having sex, we're together, he gets me pregnant and I say, "Hey, I don't think I want to have a baby." I can full on go and terminate the pregnancy without,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need his consent. I don't need to talk to him. And he may have even wanted the child. It is unfair to not flip that situation and say, hey, as he was saying, I didn't want to have a baby. I wasn't ready for a baby. If I want a baby, I want to be with the person that I'm having a child with. I want to be in a
Exactly.
relationship with that person.
Mm-hmm.
This is not how I wanted to do it or how I envisioned myself doing it.
Right,
And she
right.
says you can be involved or not involved in it. That's what she told him.
I
So,
just, it just hurt
Yeah,
me
that kind
because,
of yeah, I feel that. Like,
yeah.
damn, you kind of gotta give the same
You
benefit
got to
of
get
the
the same
doubt.
energy on either
Yeah.
side, because she did
Mm,
blow his life up essentially, because she was like, shit, I wasn't ready when I was married to my
mm-hmm.
husband, because she was married and she was
Yep.
recently divorced. She said, I wasn't ready when I was with him. Now I am ready.
yeah.
Oh, he's not ready, right?
And I remember when my daughter told me she was pregnant. Um, I was indifferent because I'm like, okay, at least she didn't get pregnant when she was in school like I did. But I knew that the person she got pregnant by was not ready to. This was my daughter's first child, but it wasn't his first child.
Mm.
And I told my daughter, I said, right now, I said, you're the prototype because you are working, you got your place with your roommates, you work a job, um, you're a pretty girl. Right now, yeah, oh, he's thrilled you're having his baby. But I told my daughter, I said, that's going to come back. And I said, it's going to be different after all the chips fall. And I said, Danielle, this is the person you're going to have to deal with for 18 years when you have your baby. And they kind of went through those things too, because my daughter saw how um, I'm pregnant and I'm having this baby. Where's he at? He wasn't there. Come to the hospital when he felt like it. So my daughter was seeing all of the patterns when they was happening.
I'm sorry, Coco. That
Huh?
cat is freaking me out back there.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. I was
That
sitting here, I'm looking, and I feel like this fucking cat is grimming me, and I'm trying
okay.
to focus. Go ahead, my
I'm
bad.
sorry, everybody. This is Sir Bootsy
Look,
Collins, Samuel Kitty, and he is 2 years old, and he is just on his throne. Yeah,
but
that's my baby. But no,
shit.
but you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
It's the thing about and even and it really reminded that Issa, Condola and Lawrence relationship remind me of my niece and her baby daddy because he's a really good father to my niece, but wasn't the best to my niece. But to the baby, oh my God. I told my niece, you got a good one. But the way he did her, I wasn't happy. But this is, ladies, especially you young ladies, don't ever think having a baby is going to get somebody to stay with you. If anything, it's going to draw y'all farther apart if y'all not on the same page. And then that whole episode made me mad because she had reason to feel the way she do. Wouldn't you agree, Jackie? And
Yeah.
Lawrence had reason to feel the way he do.
Yeah.
And
I think they both have valid reasons to feel the way. I mean, you get pregnant and it's not planned, it's never gonna really pan out to
and you
or
always
go
got
the
the
way that
baby.
you want it, right?
And you always got the baby. And I went through this with my son's father. I want to keep my baby. I'm like, I don't know if I want you to take him because I don't trust you. And somebody said to me when I was talking about this, well, she trusted him enough to fuck. But the thing
That is
was,
a totally
it's a
different.
totally different
I hate it
thing.
when people say that because
Me too, Jackie.
it first of all, consensual sex between two adults is a different kind of intimacy and a different kind of trust. It is a different trust than becoming parents with someone that you
Somebody,
like.
absolutely. And I might be
That
like,
shit is
Bear,
so
I like,
irritating.
Bear, you might have got out of jail last week and I like hanging with you, but I don't want to have a baby with you. But you gotta, and people say that kind of stuff because people always had this thing where if it was them, how they would handle something, you can never say how you would handle a situation.
Certainly.
And in that situation, if you are a person in Condola's situation where I was divorced, we didn't have a baby. I'm 30, I'm getting older.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you got this person that might be somebody that's ideal to have a baby with. You have this baby.
Well, she also told Lawrence that, because Lawrence his interest was being married to someone.
Mm-hmm.
He was in love with her and in love with her enough to be married to her. And she said,
Yeah.
I don't want to get married again.
Yep.
I don't ever want to be married again. So
And
that's a lot. So you've cut down everything that he said he wasn't ready for or what he was ready for. And then when he broke up with you, and then you told him, hey, you know what? I'm pregnant.
Man.
But and I just want people to. I think every person co-parenting should watch this episode because it was so real to me, and I know that part where they both like were on the different sofas, and Lawrence is having the time of his life. He popping bottles, fucking hoes, going to work, and Condola is with this baby. So when you come to tell me you taking the baby for one weekend and you ain't been doing this, I've been in the trenches, yeah, I might have a feel a way about you coming to get my baby and take him to a different city when I've been doing all the work. And people and brothers, men, understand with this baby mama stuff, it's not always that she's mad because you moved on, or she's mad because she thinks that you don't want to be with her. Sometimes it's just that connection that y'all should be building to raise that baby. If it's not consistent, why would I want to give my baby to somebody who ain't doing what they're supposed to do?
Or she just could be mad because she's tired.
And sometimes they are just doing it to be hateful. and
I'm not gonna disagree with that. I will not disagree because when I saw this episode, it made me feel a way because this man flew to come and get his baby, was happy to get his baby. A lot of men don't do that. And when he was getting ready to take that baby, she was like, I don't trust you.
But also, I'm not going to give him a Purple Heart for being a dad. You being a father coming to get your son.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't get props.
You're not going to get, oh, yeah, Lawrence came to go get his baby.
I don't think it's that he came to get his baby. It's just the fact that every time this man tried
Yeah.
to me,
He was shut down.
and people to me, he was shut down, and
Yeah.
it hurt my heart because I was on the other spectrum when I just wanted some type of parental help from my baby daddy. And I look at how a lot of women get in their feelings, and I do believe that I don't trust you is deeper than I don't trust you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that when she said that, that was profound. And it made me sit up in bed. Y'all, it was 5:30 in the morning, and I was watching it and I was going in and out. But I sat up because when she said that, that shit went back to Issa. It went back to just whatever her marriage was. She had trust issues. And that baby, and I still have a concern, Jackie. I just
I don't think it's his baby.
baby.
Hey.
That's what I was saying. And I think that's why when he was saying he wanted to take the baby, y'all want to, any woman that refuses to let the baby take the baby,
I don't
sometimes I'll
know.
be like,
When I
not
got
any,
pregnant
but
with my first baby, my first son, and I was with my husband, who is now my husband.
you talking
He
about
wasn't
Marky?
then. I was like, I'm not fucking with you taking my son because I don't trust that you're gonna do the same shit that I do as far as the
How old were y'all?
nurturing, the making sure. I was 27 when I had Marky.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's crazy
27.
because I was younger. Well,
I
wow.
just didn't trust that he was gonna be the because I had already from the moment that you piss on a stick and see the plus sign,
Mhm,
you are already committed to that baby growing in your belly as a
mhm.
woman in your womb, right? So
Okay.
there's no more drinking, there's no more hanging out, there's no more, and that's the opposite for a
Fighting hoes. I just want to say that because I used to want to.
there's no more there's no more any of those things. My life was completely devoted to me
To your
being a
baby,
mother to my son, even in conception, right?
right?
So I did not trust that he would do the things or sacrifice like I had been sacrificing already because he was still going out. He was still I was left by myself a lot
Ah, that's
being
and
pregnant. So
that's the and I'm
that's
thinking, I'm listening, and I'm thinking, wow,
and we were together. We lived together, everything.
wow.
I did not trust him to be because he was the baby of his family and I just didn't trust that he had grown up enough to
To,
know if the milk was too hot or to
okay,
know
I dig that.
if he pissed on himself and pissed too much, you do have to clean your baby off. I didn't trust that he would not, if doing that, drop the baby. Like there were
Mhm.
so many things.
Oh
Well, let
yeah,
me
because
ask you
I
this. Oh, go
definitely
ahead.
fell asleep and my baby rolled off of me.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
I had
Child,
a
my ex-husband dropped my son on his
no,
head,
it
and
wasn't a drop though. It was a roll. I stand by that. It wasn't a drop. It was a
But you
roll.
understand what I'm saying. Like I just felt like because I was doing everything. I was
Yeah.
doing everything.
I mean, I
And I was just
definitely
like,
get it.
you're not gonna do the same shit I'm doing. So I can't trust you with our son. And I used to say my son all the time. And I had to
oh
stop myself.
wow,
I had to stop myself from saying that because I'm like, this is not just my child. This is your child too. It's just the fact that I just don't trust you. I'm still teaching you things.
okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have
I
to I'm gonna have to check that out. Not to cut you off, Coco, but
No, I just
we
say please check it out because I
Yes.
just think it's something that
Watch
co-parenting,
all the seasons though.
yeah, and the co-parenting part, just I think it hit so many of us who've done it in a real way that I had to watch it twice because
Hmm.
I just understood it. So whoever wrote that episode,
Brilliant. Yes.
kudos, brilliant. Y'all wrote
so
that. That was somebody, baby mama, baby daddy, who wrote that. But
Yeah,
that's
because
all I
somebody
gotta say.
wrote the shit out of
That
that
shit
one.
was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
I agree.
so I know we we talked about a lot. today.
Oh, I know we did.
But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for, just sticking with us, listening to us is much appreciated. It's going to be even better with the shows to come. You can always tap in at Two Queens and the Fat Guy Podcast at Gmail if you want to send us any kind of message, any kind of suggestions. What's even more simpler than that is getting on IG, following us, Two Queens and a Fat Guy. You can holler at us on Facebook, Two Queens and a Fat Guy Podcast, and Twitter. As I always say, this shit is very complicated. TWOQSANDAFGUIPC. That's 2 Qs and AF Guy PC on Twitter. Hey, maybe you'll remember, maybe you had to go back and rewind this, but we're there. And as for me, Fat Father, aka Fit Father, peace, so long, God bless. Have a great week. Jackie B.
Fat Father, can I say one thing before we go?
Yeah.
One thing. I want to just say Happy Veterans Day to all of the armed forces, to the U.S. Army, the Marines, the Navy, and the Air Force. Yeah, I would left on the line last. But I just want to say that because it's real near and dear to me. So happy Veterans Day and enjoy your free eats. And that's all I want to say.
Well, being that we're a tad bit late, hopefully they enjoyed their free eats.
I hope so.
They had to go get them at lunchtime.
Jackie B, you got any words?
Do I ever?
So, peace and love, good people.
Bye.
I ain't lying, I'm only telling the truth. I ain't lying, homie.